So welcome to the wine team. I'm so excited to have you here, and I'm excited to help you get started on your journey of sharing wine and spreading hope, which is truly what we do at One Hope. Each one of us has our own purpose for what it is, why we joined, what we want to get out of it, and that purpose changes over time. So my name is Tracy Cox, and I have been a cause entrepreneur with One Hope Wine for, it'll be 8 years at the end of 2022. I've been through a bunch of different changes with the company. I've been through a bunch of different wines with the company. And trust me, you want to try the wines because they keep getting better and better and better. So the first thing that I like to have everybody start out with is just know what your goals are. Why is it that you joined One Hope? What do you want to get out of it? And again, those goals can change. Most of us join because we like wine, we want to give back, and then we want to make an income from it too. So when you kind of have your goals set, it's kind of easier to go for them, right? We have an amazing, when you first start, it's called Fast Start. So it's an amazing program that gets you kind of up and running right away, because the worst thing that you can do is be like, I joined a wine company and then do nothing. It happens. Trust me, it happens a lot. But let's not let that happen to you. Let's help you make an impact with your wine. So what I like to have you do is to open an event so you can just start sharing with people. You don't even have to share that you joined as a cause entrepreneur. You can simply start by saying, I'm fundraising with wine because of XYZ cause. And you, my Facebook audience, my Instagram audience, whoever it may know, your friends and family know that that cause is close to your heart. So start with something you know. It gets you grounded in what your purpose is, and then you can go from there. Also, people will see you and they'll start to naturally ask questions about, like, wait, how are you fundraising with wine? How does that work? What happens with that? Start with the basics. And also, everything you need to know is on the One Hope website, which is also your website. So everything, the wording, how to join, information about our wine, what our current wines are, they're all on the website. They're also going to be in a catalog. You'll probably receive a catalog in your starter kit. You're also going to receive your Fast Start information in your starter kit. And I'm going to show you where you can find some of these resources right away as well. But again, the first thing that you want to do is you want to start fundraising, right? That's what I want to do, because I want to help people. And I also want to, in turn, that also helps us help ourselves by making an income when we make that impact. So let's share my screen. And I'm going to show you, my desktop. So when you first log in to your browser and you go to onehopewine.com, sorry, I already logged into mine. When you go to onehopewine.com, this is where you're going to start. This is where your customers are most likely going to start too. Up here in the upper right corner, it'll say sign in. Right now, I am signed in, and it shows me my points. If I'm a customer, it will show you the customer points as well. And that's good to know, because with every purchase, you earn 5% back in reward points. Like, what wine company does that? The grocery store doesn't do that for you, right? So that's another great thing to share with people. You earn wine rewards for buying wine, so you can get free wine. Nothing tastes as good as free wine, except for wine that makes an impact, that is. So once you sign in, you're going to sign in with the email address that you used when you signed up to be a cause entrepreneur. And it might say sign in with Facebook. It might say sign in with Google. If you have a Gmail address, that's where you click the Google, because it'll bring up your Gmail, and then you can sign in through Gmail. So once you're in, you'll have these options: CE back office, CE account, your personal profile, orders, wine club, rewards, addresses, and payments. So all of this information, profile, orders, wine club, rewards, addresses, and payments, is also what's on the customer facing side. So that's where your customers can change their profile. If they're wine club members, they can change their wine frequency, they can change what's coming in their wine club, their addresses where they ship to, and also their payments that we have on file. We don't have access to their payments, just in case you wonder. It's stored in the system, so we can order for our customers, and I'll show you that when you get there. But if you don't have customers yet, there's nothing to worry about. what you want to do is go into your CE back office. This is your dashboard. It's also called the CE dashboard. It's called the CE back office. This is where you start from. This is where you want to go to every day, every couple days on your phone or your computer, because this tells you where you're at and what's going on. So over here on the right-hand side, this is called a playbook. If you have an Apple phone, you can download the iOS app, and we have a One Hope app. When you actually do some of the steps that are here, you actually get to earn points. So see right here, it says 50 points, help us get to 1,000 followers on our community Instagram page. So if you click learn more, it's going to take you to Instagram. You follow the community Instagram page, whoosh, you get 50 more points. I mean, that's 50 cents, but 50 cents adds up, right? Like, let's not be knocking it. This also, right when you log in, tells you all your information that you need to know to get started. Your CE ID number, you'll need that to set up your Paylution account. Paylution is how we get paid. You will need your wine link for your store. This is your store. So if somebody goes to my shop /wine with Tracy, which I really recommend that you keep it as your name, brand yourself and you as the person. Don't do another name like that. I changed mine a super long time ago, so mine is going to stay Wine with Tracy, because on my Instagram and all that stuff is, but keep it your name, because people will remember you. They don't necessarily remember your catchy little phrase that you put on here. And especially because when people are out and you meet them that don't know you, it'd be easier for them to search for you by remembering your name. Also, this tells you what your current rank is. It tells you your current PCV. PCV is how we get paid. So you need to know where your current PCV is. And it tells you your current OV. Your OV is your overall volume. So if you have a team underneath you, this is what your overall volume is, which also goes in with the compensation plan. And you can look up the whole entire compensation plan under the Help Center. Under the index, you can type in compensation plan to look at all that. But you don't need to dive deep until you're starting to make some traction. But it is fun to have friends join you right from the beginning. So if you have a friend that you're like, hey, you know what, let's do this and start together, it's a great way to start building your team. And also when you're in Fast Start, you get some more bonuses when you have people join your team and they qualify at a minimum of $300 in PCV. So to get started and to do an event with One Hope, which is what I highly suggest everybody does first, is you're going to go over to the events tab. When this opens, you can see I have all these events that are open right now. Some of them have sales in them, some of them don't. This school, for instance, is starting and they're going to do something at a later date, but we opened it when it was there because a couple people might have wanted to buy wine. So you're just going to go in and you're going to create a new event. Is this event in person or online? You can do either one. The only reason sometimes that you'll see when we walk through this, like if it's in person, then there's an option to order wine. If it's online, then there's an option to have guests order a tasting kit. I highly recommend that if you can get people together and get them to taste the wine and use your wine from your first wine kit that you are receiving, then that starts the conversation right there, because people love to taste the wine. They're actually normally all blown away by the wine and they're like, I didn't think it's going to be this good because you guys give so much money back to charity. Like, how could you make good wine too? Well, we do. It's amazing. We have a lot of wine that's over 90 points. Our Chardonnay, our Vintner Chardonnay just received 94 points and a platinum medal from fellow winemakers. So that's huge because it's from fellow winemakers. So people who are actually making their own wines gave our wine a 94, our Chardonnay a 94. So that's pretty kick-ass. So event details, we're going to go through this like we're doing an in-person event. So you click in person, who's hosting, a contact, a nonprofit, or I am hosting. For your first wine, you're going to host, because why would you not, right? You can also have a host. It's also good to have a host, maybe have your friend, maybe have someone else be the host or co-host it with someone, because that way you can focus on what your CE responsibilities are and you can coach the host. But again, maybe you're going to just start off and share this right away with like, hey, I'm doing a wine tasting. I'm doing a wine fundraiser. Who wants to help support me and buy some amazing wine? So click you are hosting. You can put in your event title. Just say it's your launch event location. If you are doing it in person, it will ask you for a location. I'm just going to put in some random location in the city of California. And who knew there was a 123 Main Street, but I guess there is. The date of our event, we're going to say it is the 20th. And the time, we're going to do 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Show events recent supporters. So what that means is that on the website that'll be generated, if anybody purchases wine through that link, then it'll show the supporters. Oftentimes, depending on who it is or how it's done, I like to click this off because, for instance, I work at a school. So I have that turned off because the rest of the school doesn't need to know what parents are purchasing wine and how often they're purchasing wine. So I just turn that off. I click next. If you want to add an image that tells the story, you can. So let's say, for instance, you're doing something. I did something with an event the other day. So you just search your pictures. We're going to say it is for, I'm going to say it's for the spring event for my school. So you just find the photo, put the photo in here, click done. And then we come down here and click next. And you can choose a One Hope cause partner. If you click this, it'll show you what causes that we currently fund through the One Hope Foundation. You can do a custom 501c3. This is what's highly recommended because what we do is we let people have wine tastings. We get to we get to help people have wine tastings that give back to their local causes of choice. I always say start small, start local, start what's meaningful to you, and then branch out. When you start making a local impact, more people will know about you, more people will share about you, your circle will get wider and wider and wider, and so on and so forth. And there's lots of little mom and pop organizations, nonprofits that are in your backyard, including your schools, including your women's shelters, your dog shelters that really need, $50, $60, $100 on a regular frequency that really makes a big impact to them. So when you look for your custom 501c, you search your nonprofit names down here. I'm just going to type in Relay for Life. So something comes up. I should just type in something I knew. Why am I like stumped right now? I'm just going to say American Lutheran Church Westchester. So this is the school that I work at. It's a church and a school. If there is an attention, this is what's going to go on the check to the person. So you would put in attention, whoever it may go to. This will should automatically populate the address and their tax ID number. If it doesn't, when you're entering the information in here, there's a little button that says add manually, and you can add the information in manually. Do you want to set a donation goal? Sometimes it's fun to have the goal, and then it'll show on the page that we create. Here's where you can enter a message from your host. So if your host, and remember, you can be the host, you can say, hey, I'm fundraising because XYZ, find out why they're fundraising. I also like to add a little information on there too that says, if you would like further information or you need help with ordering, please contact Tracy Cox and then give my information so they have it. So they can directly contact me if they need it. The check memo, this will be what's on the memo section of the check when the check is sent to the foundation. So for instance, if it is the local American Cancer Society office and it is for a Relay for Life team, you could put in there Relay for Life team Care Bears or whatever the name of the team is so they make sure they get it. It's also good to let the person know who is fundraising that's how the check will be received at the local office so they can check to make sure those donations get sent to them. It's kind of the same thing with like Boy Scout groups. People do runs, all that kind of stuff. They can do wine fundraising for that. They just have to make sure on here where the check is going. It's the local office, and then also what the name of the team or the person or their ID number on there goes to. So right now I'm just going to leave that blank and I'm going to click next. Oh, how much money? Because I said I wanted to set a donation goal, it'll ask me how much money, but I'm just going to click next. Order the wine. So this says balance, you have 0 free event kit credits available. So remember how at the beginning I talked about our PCV is how we get paid. That's what we earn our commission on. We also, when we hit $600 in PCV, we also have been earning a free event kit. And so an event kit is 6 bottles of wine. So that is something great that you can use to host your own events. You can gift it to a nonprofit so they can use it. I always like to make sure that whatever I do and however I gift it, that it's going to be returned like 3 or 4 times in full to that organization, because we're here to make an impact, right? So if you want to order wine for this event, you say yes or no, or you can skip now and book the event because you're like, well, I did it as an online event, because that'll be an option for online too. So you might not need to order the wine. But let's say, yes, you did want to order wine for this event. So, and you don't have any free event kit credits. If you did, you could apply them here. And you don't have to order the wine right away when you apply your event kit credit. You can wait, so you can be like, it's a little closer to, because what if somebody sets up an event for June and right now it's the beginning of July or May, but you're like, oh, it's kind of early to get the wine to them, but let's wait and see. So you might want to you can order the wine at least a week before the event to make sure it's there on time. This down here is how many bottles of wine do you need for this event? So this is called the host packages of wine. Now, I recommend that you do not use these prices or offer this. And here's why. If the host, who does have to pay for their own wine, orders the wine through their event link, they're still going to get a discount. They're going to start their host rewards. They're also going to give back 10% to their cause of choice. Plus, they're personally going to earn wine rewards. So that's 4 reasons why they should order it through their event link that you're setting up on this page. If, and you can do the wine math. Wine math is a huge thing. It's a huge term. So like, check it out and be like, yeah, because you know what? It may seem like it costs you more at the beginning. Like typically a standard 6-pack of wine is $135 plus $15 shipping. So, but that means $13.50 is going to the cause. It also means the $135 is going towards their $500 as a host to earn host credits, which when they host an event, then they earn 10% back. So that's a good thing. They'll also earn 5% wine rewards for ordering. So it's like $7 back for ordering. And then also for us as CEs, we make commission when they order it through their wine link. We don't make commission when they order it through this part. So I always just recommend it. Now, you could also give this as a bonus and say, hey, if you order this, I can get you this. Work your business how works for you. But most of my hosts are always like, yeah, I'll just order through my wine link because it makes more sense. And they're all about giving back as well. So definitely do that. So we're going to say, no, we don't need to order wine for this event. If you ever want to come back and order wine through this event at that host price, you can. You just go back into the event link. And then we're going to book the event. So once this event is booked, you will see it pop up on this screen. Any place that there's a little pencil, you can go in and change the event details. So this is set up for an in-person event. If we decided that we were going to order wine and this was going to be an online event, we can go back and change this and save this. You'll see where it said wine, it now changed to tasting flight. So this, will the guest be purchasing tasting flights, yes or no? So we're going to say yes, and then we're going to say save changes. So now there is a specific link that the guests can use to purchase tasting flights. The reason why they would want to use this link is because when they purchase a tasting flight, which is 4 bottles of wine, they will also receive a coupon of $15 that's linked back to this event to say, hey, you liked that wine and that tasting kit. Now go back and shop and you're going to get a little discount because you already purchased the tasting kit. So now you're going to get a discount so you can buy more wine at 4 bottles or more wine in your cart. And then that wine will also help give back to the cause. So this order link can be a little long. And so there's different ways you can use a URL shortener. If it's in an email, you can hyperlink it. You can just put this in an email. It's kind of hard to put on a flyer or social media stuff, but I use a program called Bitly, bitly.com. That's a URL shortener. And then I just make I make a little small link for it. And there's another video that'll explain how to do that. And then it also says on here, the charity, the host rewards, and the guest orders. So if you want to see if somebody has ordered for this event, you can just pop in here and you can see who the guest orders are. You can also see where the host is at on his or her rewards, and it'll tell you the subtotal and how many reward points and who it's redeemable by. It'll also tell you the charity. So let's say your host was like, I'm not sure who I want, but I want to get this started right away because I need to order wine because I like the wine anyway. And let me figure out the charity in a minute. You can come back in here and change the details for that as well. Now, if you click up here and you go to the event page, this is where you find the event URL. So this is the link that you would want to copy and share with your hostess, so he or she can share that with their guests that they are inviting to the wine tasting. Now, if you added a new contact in to your email, that host is actually going to get an email that says, hey, congratulations, you've just set up a wine tasting with One Hope, and here are all your details, including this link. So they will have all that information as well. I also recommend that you go in and set up a customer account that you can use to test this too. Use a different email so you can see what happens, so you can see both sides. Like you can see what you get as the CE and what the host gets on their side too. It's always good to kind of know that. And again, once you do this one time, you'll be like, I got this. This is easy breezy. So you can copy the URL and then you can see what the event page looks like. We'll go to that event page. And there you go. This is the event page. Up here on the top bar, it'll say who I'm shopping for. I'm logged in as me, so I'm shopping for myself, but I'm helping to fund here. So it gives us the exact name of the organization, which is awesome. So people can click here to shop to support. They can scroll through here. I recommend if you're brand new with One Hope, scroll through this information and see what's on here. Because, you'll be like, oh, hey, I didn't know that. Oh, hey, I didn't know we had a new pink shimmer. Like, look through this. And here's frequently asked questions. Read this information too. If you're going to dive deep on something in your first, month, dive deep on knowing what's on your website and kind of the wording that is also in the catalog, because this will really help you ground yourself in your foundation. And now all you do is share this information. You could easily go to your social media if you want, and you can say, hey, you know what? I'm fundraising for XYZ, and share that information on your social media. Another thing, so what if somebody says to you, hey, Tracy, I would like to order 6 bottles of wine. How do I do that? Or can you order me 6 bottles of Chardonnay? I love that Chardonnay. And you're just going to say, why, yes, I can. So there's a couple different ways for you to enter customer orders. If they're brand new and they've never shopped with One Hope before, just go to the event page. Make sure you're not logged in as yourself though. Click and shop through here and just walk through the process and then check out. Make sure it does say up here what it's helping to fund though, and that at a certain point, because then this is always linked back to you as the cause entrepreneur. So, you'll see that. And then you'll see that on your dashboard when you come back into the event, that that guest order will be placed under here. And then that contact will be placed in your contacts. People can shop with other cause entrepreneurs. That's not a problem. So, you know, but that's kind of one of the easiest ways when you first start of how to place an order for somebody, is just to go directly into the event and shop for them. Now, if you're like, hey, I have customers already, but I want to shop for a specific customer, my best advice is to go into your contacts, find that customer in your contact, and then there's a little thing that says order. And I'm not going into my contacts because it would show all my contacts and I want to just keep it as a privacy thing. It would say order, so you can order for that customer. If they are shopping in a specific link, then copy and paste the link URL up here. Okay. So if it's an existing customer, go to that customer's information in the CE dashboard, click new order. Then once that customer's information is pulled up, copy and paste the link you want them to shop in with that, and then it will connect them up here. Because that has to happen, because sometimes the links aren't attached to the people. The people are attached to One Hope, but they all need to sync. And again, once you do it, you'll be like, oh, okay, I got it. Totally makes sense. Totally makes sense. So, and that is how you start sharing your wine link with people with One Hope, and how you start to make an impact. Another handy little place to go, the training center has a lot of information in it, and so does the help center. I share this because this is literally your best friend. So down here in the index, go to index of resources. Oh, and did you notice these bright little shiny faces that pop up over here? So if you ever have a question for support, this is our support chat. So you can go into your CE dashboard, you can go into this little chat button, and you can chat with one of the customer support specialists who are awesome and will get back to you and answer your questions. Just make sure when you do write into support, as with any support system, you're as detailed as possible. If you have a screenshot of something that happened, you know, make sure you have that screenshot there, so they can be like, okay, what's going on? What happened? And don't just say, my customer can't get their order to work. Well, that's not helpful to anybody. Like, what steps have they done? What are they doing? And kind of walk through that process. You know, write it out so they know the steps and what's happening. But anyway, I digress back in. So back into the index of resources, there's a lot of resources, and these are some of the top highlight ones that you should definitely check into on the regular. The at a glance sheet for every month that tells you all about what's happening with One Hope. The event pricing sheet, and the May monthly wine list. So I'm going to pop this one up. The May monthly wine list. So this will tell you what wines are featured in the month of May. This is also really good to print out 1 or 2 copies of this for a wine tasting, because we do have a lot of wines. So you may be just tasting 6 vintner wines, but somebody may be like, oh, I want a big, bold cab. What do you have for cabs? You know, you can look it up on your phone or on your computer that you take with you to a tasting. But also if you have the sheet, you can be like, oh, here you go. Let's look through our sheets. So this tells you all the wines, how they're listed, the little minis, the glitter collections that we have, what we have for etched bottles, sparklings, our reserve wines, and we have a bunch new wines coming, a bunch of new wines coming out as well. But that is a great resource for you. Also, event pricing sheet. Let's see what this is. So this tells you, this is pretty good. So there is the monthly promotion, which is when you put 6 bottles of wine in your cart, in the customer's cart or your cart, you're going to get this, the monthly promotion offer. So it's like, it's a purchase with the purchase. So you're getting it at half price, and here's the retail value. It's also giving you the list of wines. So if you're at a wine tasting, this is super good and super helpful to have. This is also listed in the back of the catalog. But if someone's like, oh, hey, I want to get a sparkling and I want to get a Pinot Noir and I want to get a Happy Mother's Day. Well, this is, if they put it in 6 bottles of wine, this is the price. 12 bottles of wine, this is the price. All wines can be mixed and matched. So it doesn't have to be like a case of this and a case of this. They can mix and match their quantities to their heart content. So this is awesome to print off too, to have with you at a tasting. So people can look and be like, oh yeah, well, I might as well get, I might as well get 6 bottles of wine because I'm going to get 10% off. So why would I not do that? That's cool. There's always an announcement video on the first of the month, so you can see what's happening. Also, every Tuesday, we have an email called The Vine that gives us updates on new promotions, new wines, kind of like what's going on. It's your hit list for like what's coming for the next week. Additionally, down here, you're going to find if you want to know the compensation plan, there's a compensation plan on here. There's a lead form. A wine not list is kind of good to get your brain started. Print this out and be like, oh yeah, who do I know that would host? Oh, who do I know that is going to need to send a gift soon? Oh, who do I know that I think would be a wine lover that would love to join my team? That's what the wine not list is about. One other thing that I'm looking for is the Fast Start Tracker. So once you join, now you are in Fast Start. So this information, I always say, is worth the ink. Print this out. Actually, you're going to get this in a little bundle. So maybe you just want to screenshot this on your phone and you can be like, hey, this is what I have to hit. These numbers here are your retail value of what you have to hit in the first 2 weeks, the first month, second month, and third month to earn this additional incentive. And remember how I was saying, like, bring a friend with you? Here's some additional incentives that you get to earn when you start building a team within your first 90 days. Who wouldn't love to have an extra $1,000 in their pocket in their first 90 days? You just need to build a team of impact. And if that's what you want to do, definitely schedule a call with either myself or whoever you directly signed up with so we can get you on that path right away. So again, I don't want to overwhelm you with all of this information. I just want you to share some tools and some information so you know how you can get started by sharing impact and sharing hope and, making yourself hit your goals that you want to hit. So if you have any questions, please feel free to call me, contact me, send me a message. I'm available on all sorts of different ways. The best way to contact with me, though, and this is something good to share with your mentor too, what works best for you to contact. I'm really good with text. I'm really good with Facebook messaging. And those are probably 2 of my biggest ones. And I like to send voice texts on Facebook message or iPhone messages back and forth because it's easier to sometimes answer that question. If you do say, hey, Tracy, I need to talk to you, or hey, Barbara, I need to talk to you, whosever name it may be, leave them a detailed message of what you need to know, because sometimes it can be answered back in a text or a voice message, and then that saves a lot of going back and forth. I know that seems really elementary, but it is really true. And I have people that reach out all the time like, oh, I want to know, I need to ask you, I need to know something. And it's like, okay, well, what is it that you need to know? Especially too, depending on if we're on different time zones and I work a job, plus I have another job, plus I have another job. So, I have a lot of hustles going on. So I'm able to answer questions in between my stuff. But I hope that helps. And I hope that you are enjoying this so far. And again, don't be overwhelmed. We are here to share wine and give hope. And once you do this, once you walk through these steps, you'll be like, oh, I got it. This is easy. This is fun. I love it. And you're going to be a rock star. So grab my wine and say cheers to you. And let's go out and make a difference.